All right. Okay, well, we will go ahead and get started. And I want to first just say my name is Michelle Fletcher. I am the academic recruiter for the college. And thank you all so much for joining us in this information session. Now, these sessions are designed to offer you information that will support your academic success. Each Tuesday, we highlight a different program, a different resource, something we think you need to know that will be beneficial to you as you watch. Here's my one big word for the night: matriculate through CVCC. And so again, we are always excited to engage with you all with this information, hoping again that we are helping to prepare you and give you the information you need as you move forward. Now tonight, we will be hearing from the coordinator of the first year program at CVCC, and her name is Kimberly French. She has her team here this evening. So I will say to each and everyone on the call, listen, get your questions together because they are ready and they want to answer the questions that you have. Now, feel free to use the reaction buttons. I got lost there. Feel free to use the reaction buttons. Listen, stay engaged with us. Feel free to ask those questions even during the presentation, because I've already checked with them. They are excited to answer those questions even during the presentation. We will allow for maybe 8 to 10 minutes of Q&A at the end for anybody that just might be sitting on a question that they didn't get a chance to ask during the presentation. We will have a time for Q&A at the end. So with all that said, we are ready to get started, and I am going to give it over to Kimberly French, the first year coordinator for first semester students. Kimberly?
Hi, everyone. We're so excited to have you here tonight. I'm Kimberly French, and a little bit about first year programs. It kind of goes over, how we get you through your first semester. We're going to talk to you about that tonight, about applying, making sure you have your financial aid in place, also making sure you go over your college readiness. You know your academic program, you know what classes we're going to get you enrolled in your first semester, and then knowing about our tools and resources and your orientation at the end. We're going to go over all of that for you. But before we do, I want to introduce you to our team and let you know who our team is that's going to be working with you. You're going to be assigned your navigators. And so I'm going to go around and they're going to tell you a little fun fact about themselves. A fun fact about me is that I have been swimming with the dolphins. So I'm going to pass this on now to Tanita Anthony, and she's going to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Tanita Anthony, and I'm the newest college navigator here at CVCC. A little fun fact about me, I lived in Alaska for 5 months. Yes, it was very cold. No, I did not live in an igloo.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Cochran, and I am one of the college navigators here. Let's see, a fun fact about me is I have been to Disney World 5 times. So I'm a huge Disney fan, and I look forward to working with you.
Hi, I am Raylene Cope, and I'm, of course, one of the navigators as well. And a cool fact about me is I just came back from Disney World last week, and that was my first time ever flying, ever going to Florida. So it was pretty cool. So I'm gonna pass it on to Leah.
There we go. Hi, my name is Leah Perry, and a fun fact about me is I'm always talking on mute.
Kimberly.
All right. Thank you so much.
Kim, can I give a fun fact?
Yes, please do, Michelle.
All right. So here's a fun fact, and it's not about me. The fun fact is Raylene and Brittany should have been sisters. So when you get to that campus and you meet these ladies, I promise you, you will think not only should they have been sisters, they should have been twins. That's a fun fact. All right, Kimberly.
That is so true, Michelle. So let me start off by saying, if you haven't applied to the college, that will be your very first step, is applying. And once you apply to the college, you'll just go to Central Virginia Community College. There's an Apply Now button. You'll go through that. If you're a returning student, you still need to go through a new application. It's going to come up to a part where it's going to ask you to put in your student ID number from before. If you don't know that, you can always reach out to us and we can tell you what your student ID number is. But you will need to put that information in. You'll go through that application. You'll get your username and your ID, and then a temporary password for you to use. Within 24 hours, you need to use that temporary password after you apply to log into your My CVCC. The reason for that is because when you log into your My CVCC, it wants you to activate and change your password. So that way that you're current and you have your current password with you. So if you haven't applied to CVCC, do that now, because as soon as you do, you get assigned one of these beautiful navigators that you have right here. So from the point of application, you get assigned one of them. That is your very first step of becoming a new student. Your second step, I'm going to pass over to Raylene Cope, and she's going to talk to you about financial aid.
So the next step is to fill out the FAFSA. So the FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. You can go to FAFSA.gov or gov to sign up for your FAFSA. It is a form that collects all the financial information from all the people living in your household or your immediate family that are living in the household. And then it gives us a number, which is called an expected family contribution. And that tells us how much financial aid you are allowed or you can be awarded for the full academic year. So this form takes about, I'd say maybe an hour or so to complete. Sometimes it can be really confusing or a little fussy, but we have a wonderful financial aid office that does many different types of open days events where you can come in and file a FAFSA with someone. So you can come in and sit down with someone. It does require your parent if you are under the age of 24. If you are not married or if you don't have kids, it does have a couple of stipulations. So it tells us what type of student you are. It tells us how much money you qualify for. And because CVCC is a relatively affordable school, your financial aid will go a very long ways. So it's really a great idea to sign up. And also if you plan on applying for our scholarship program, which we do have one of those as well, you would need to complete a FAFSA. So most people, like I said, sometimes don't even know about it, but we are here to help make sure that you are on top of that. And that's one of the things that we try to get you all squared away for once you get here. So if you have questions about the FAFSA, you can always reach out to one of us, or you can definitely reach out to one of your, you can reach out to our financial aid office and they will gladly help get you in the right direction.
Raylene, I wanted to just highlight one thing for you too. So when you do the application and you're also applying for financial aid, make sure to put your social security number on your application. It's really important that you do that, because if you don't, it won't link to your financial aid application. So make sure when you're doing that, and if you've already applied and you have not put your social security number in, that's okay. You can contact our admissions office and they will put your social security number on the application and go ahead and enter it for you. But you just need to reach out to them to do that. So if you didn't do it when you completed the application, you still have time to do that.
That is correct.
All right, we will move on now from financial aid going into college readiness. Brittany Cochran will talk to you about that.
Hey everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna talk with you a little bit about college class placement. So here at CVCC, we have a placement survey that you will take, and I'll provide that link for you in the chat. If you have already applied to the college and logged in, you will be able to click this link and complete your placement. If you have not applied yet, don't worry about doing this link just yet. You'll want to apply first, like Kim was speaking about, and then it will prompt you to complete your class placement. Essentially, what it's going to ask you is if you are right out of high school, you will have to report your high school GPA and then choose the highest level of math class that you took. Once you complete that, it will give you feedback. So you can read your results and it will tell you what classes you are eligible to enroll in. That will also come back on our side in the system so that when we meet with you for advising, we can go over the placement with you and let you know what classes you are able to take. If you have been out of high school 5 or more years, it's going to give you a few different questions. The survey isn't going to ask you about your high school GPA if you've been 5 years out, but it's going to go over some English questions and some math questions, just having you answer yes or no if any of it looks familiar to you. So it'll report some math questions to have you look at and think about. If you were to brush up and study a bit, do you think you could do the math questions provided? Same with the English. It will show you kind of a brief paragraph and have you read over it and make sure you're comfortable with that. So you'll just want to, answer honestly the yes, no questions. And then you will also get a feedback page where it will let you know if you answered mostly yes, or if you answered mostly no, or if you're kind of in between. It will give you options on the classes that you should enroll in. And this is something that when you meet with us, we'll help you go over. The whole point of placement for classes is to make sure that you're going into a class that you're ready for and that you need for your degree or certificate program. We don't want you going into a class that you don't need, and we also don't want you going into a class that you might not be quite ready for. So it is important that you complete the class placement survey so that we can best advise you. We do not require high school transcripts to be turned in for all programs. However, some of our closed programs like respiratory therapy or radiology, they do require high school transcripts. So this is something else we'll go over with you when we meet to let you know if we need a copy of your high school transcript. All right, and I will go ahead and pass it on to Leah Perry.
So after you've done your placement survey and things of that such, during the application process, you'll also be able to choose what program of study you'd like to go into. And sometimes this can be confusing because you'll think that you're in a program that you're supposed to be in when actually that's not the appropriate program that you possibly need. So then what you're going to do is set an appointment up with your navigator. You'll be assigned your navigator and you'll be able to, of course, have correspondence with us to set up the appointments. And you'll get emails from us as well periodically throughout the enrollment process or enrollment time prior to classes beginning to set your appointment with us. You'll definitely get several emails from us. So just be on the lookout for your emails when we do send them out to schedule your appointment for your onboarding. During that time, what we're going to do is go over your program of study, making sure that you're in the right program, making sure that the program that you want to be in is the program that's best for you and whatever your career needs are going to be post CVCC, whether it be transferred to a 4-year, whether it be a technical trade, or just like Brittany had mentioned, whether it be like radiology or respiratory therapy or something like that. We just want to make sure that prior to some restricted programs, you're in the right program you need to get prerequisites done and things like that. Also, we'll be able to set up and enroll you in your first semester of classes during the onboarding appointment. If everything's good to go and you've done your survey and we have all your scores and stuff like that, we'll be able to go ahead and enroll you in classes during that time. And we're also going to go over the delivery mode of our classes, whether you want to be on campus. So like right now we have a vast variety of delivery modes. So if you want to be on campus and in person, we can help you figure out what your schedule is for that. If you want to be virtual Zoom, we can help you with that because we have those as well. Or if you work full time and you have a busy schedule, depending on the program, we'll have all online and things like that. But we'll go over all of that in our onboarding meeting with you prior to enrollment, so we can make sure that you're best enrolled in a program and classes that are going to help your lifestyle as well. And with that, I'm going to pass it on over to Tanita Anthony.
Yes, thank you. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the technology that we have here at CVCC. Leah discussed some of the onboarding appointments that you might have with the navigator. So you would set that up through the Navigate app. You would use the Navigate app to set up appointments with us or with your counselor once you've been here for a while. And you can also use that app to set up your tutoring for any classes that you might need extra support in. In addition to Navigate, well, when you sign into My CVCC, you'll have access to a plethora of different applications. You'll see all the different icons when you sign in. Navigate is one of those. Another is Canvas. Leah talked a little bit about the delivery modes that we offer our classes in, and you will see that with our online classes and even classes online on campus, that you will use Canvas to track your grades and your assignments. Another icon that's in the My CVCC website is your Gmail. So once you enroll in your classes, you will get access to a Gmail account, and that will give you access to email as well as your Google Drive, which will allow you extra storage space. In addition to the technology that we have here, we also offer other resources such as our library that has a loaner laptop program, a loaner hotspot program, and obviously a bunch of books and our databases. You can also sign up for tutoring, like I said, through the Navigate app, but you can also go to that in person up in on campus. And then we also have a bookstore here on campus where you can get your books for your classes. I'm going to pass it back to Ms. French, who is going to talk to you about some further steps you take in the onboarding process.
Thank you so much. So when you go into Navigate, when the one she was talking about to make the appointment, there is in there when you go to make an appointment, it'll have your success team. And so your success team will be labeled as a navigator or a counselor. And your navigator is your first year, your first semester, basically the first semester that you're going to be with us to make sure that we get you in that right program, the right classes that you're going to be taking, and get you really the best start we can get you while you're at CVCC to make sure that you transition well, that your classes are going well. We want to make sure that you have the best start possible. And so when you click that for the navigator, then it'll go through and it'll give you opportunities to be able to make an appointment or either have a drop-in, which is basically like a walk-in where you can come in. But again, even our appointments are done several ways. One being that you can come in person. You can also make an appointment through Zoom, or you can do a phone appointment. So there are different options for your appointments that you can do too, because we know everyone's got busy lifestyles. Some prefer to come in because you feel more comfortable coming in, and we want you to, or either some of you may just want a Zoom session that you want to do or over the phone. So whichever is best for you. We want to make it as easy as possible and give you the best information that we can. So once you go through these processes that they all did a beautiful job just describing for you, the last part, once you get enrolled in your classes, you then are going to take something called New Student Orientation. New Student Orientation is going to go over and give you a guide, basically how to use your Navigate, how to use your student information system, how to make appointments and know how to use the Writing Center, the Math Achievement Learning Lab, making sure you know all these resources that are available to you. Knowing that if something happens on campus and you need to sign up for your E2 Campus Alert, showing you how to sign up for your E2 Campus Alert. We also have Microsoft Office 365, which is free download through your Canvas. When you go to Canvas, it shows you your resources, but it's going to show you how to download Microsoft Word, Access, Excel, PowerPoint, all that to your computer. It can be up to 5 devices. And that is free to you as a student by using your My CVCC account. So once you're a student and you're enrolled, those are resources that are available to you. So all that's going to be in your New Student Orientation. Once you complete it, at the end, there's a quiz that you take, and that shows that you completed the New Student Orientation. And then that resource is available to you always. It's always in your Canvas. So if you need to go back and refer to it at a later date, it's going to be there for you. Your first semester, one of your first semester classes is always going to be college success skills, which is going to be called SDV 100, which is student development 100. College success skills is going to go over things that's going to help you with time management, money management, how to reduce test anxiety, those type of things that's going to help you be more successful in your courses and also help you throughout your future semesters at CVCC. So we want to make sure that you have those resources available to you and that you get a great start with us. Now I do see some questions that have been coming through, and we want to be able to allot the time for that. So I'm going to hand it back over to Michelle Fletcher, and she'll get us going with the Q&A section of this portion.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started with Q&A. Let me first ask this question. I know that some questions have come through the chat. Is there any questions that have been asked that have been answered that everyone could benefit from? In terms of, you answered a question for a person or two, but it was just to that person you gave the answer, but everybody on the call could maybe benefit from it. No? Can you hear me?
We can. One
Okay,
thing
okay, go
I would like to ask everybody, down at the bottom, you can do a thumbs up. But I would like to ask, give a thumbs up if you have logged into my CVCC. Okay, so right, many of you have done that, so that's really good. So those of you who haven't, are you having trouble getting into my CVCC, or have you applied yet?
Feel free to unmute yourself and talk with us.
I put a thumbs up already.
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said I put a thumbs up already.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you
awesome.
put a thumbs
Thank
up already. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, are there questions out there? This is the Q&A portion of the evening, and we want to entertain any questions that you might have before we get off the call. Anybody with any questions that we can answer for you?
I know there was one that was out there, Michelle, that said,
Okay.
could they do a one-on-one session so they make sure that they got everything covered? Absolutely. We want that for you. Again, once you apply, be looking for the emails and the text messages that come out from your navigator, because they're encouraging you to reach out to them to make that one-on-one appointment with them. So please, yeah, definitely do that. It looks like Sherry Florence has her hand raised.
Yes, I wanted to know, who do I reach out to in regards to my class?
For your first semester classes?
Because I'm doing CDL.
You're doing what? Which one?
CDL.
CDL. Okay, so that's actually through Workforce. So when you go online, and at the home page, there is at the very top, you'll see one that says Workforce, and their phone number. I can give you their phone number, and it'll give you the direct number to them. It's 434-8.
Okay, 1 second.
Sure. I can put it in the chat for you too.
Yes, please.
Okay. And
I'm
also going to give you all the navigators information. So I'm gonna post that right now.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put in there the workforce development.
Okay. Any other questions? Because we want to be respectful of your time. We've designated 30 minutes for these sessions, and we want to, again, be respectful of your time. Anyone with any other questions? Well, if you have one, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start with the closing, if you will. But if you have a question at the end of the reminders here, please feel free to interject your question. Now, just as a reminder, these sessions are occurring every Tuesday from 6 to 6:30 throughout May of 2022. So we would ask that you join us again and again and again for these sessions. Now, next week, we will feature our advising team next week, and they will come and they're going to talk with you about program. Take a look at what program are you in, where you're looking to go in terms of if you're looking to transfer, if you're looking to get in and get out. They're going to talk with you about your classes, making sure that you are on the right track and moving in the direction that you desire. So again, the advising team will be with us next week, and I encourage you to join us at that time. Also, a reminder, we are currently registering for the spring 2022 semester. So if you're interested in taking a class for spring 2022, by all means, get with one of these counselors. Their contact information is in the chat, and they will be more than happy to walk you through that process. The other thing I want to bring to your help you to know is that these sessions are recorded, and they are on our website, and they are on our YouTube channel as well. So I would encourage you to go and take a listen. We pack a lot of information into these 30 minutes, but you can go and listen again at a time that's feasible for you to just kind of take it all in again and get the information that you need. So those are the things that I wanted to make sure that I reminded you of. We are going to bring it to a close here in just a second, but I'm going to open it up one more time to see if there are any questions out there, anybody sitting on anything that they would like to ask. All right. Well,
Michelle,
yes.
there's a few questions in there about how to get your username and your password. So
Okay.
just so everyone knows, you can actually, at the end of your application, once you complete the application, it gives you your username, a 24-hour password, and your student ID number. If you're beyond that 24 hours, it's okay. You can call in and we can help reset your password. If you didn't take a picture or print that last page, you can always call in and we'll make sure that we give you your username. We can look that information up so that we can find out what it is. If you have your username, but you can't remember the password, you can also click the forgot password button and it will go through the prompt of trying to help you reset it. If it's just something really, really wonky and you cannot figure out how to get it to work, or if resetting the password is not working or something along those lines, you can contact our IT department and they will help walk you through and replenish it and get it all reset. So there were several questions that were asking about getting.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, listen, panel, you did a beautiful job. You've just put out just a wealth of information, and information that I am pretty sure will be helpful to our prospective students, helping them to get a good start. And I would say to the prospective students on the call, you have got to know by now from the information that you've received and just to come across of these counselors, how we pull up close to make sure that you have the information that you need. We do all that we can to help you with that transition into CVCC. Now, because we get off this call does not mean you don't have access to us. You have the contact information. Feel free to reach out to us at any time. If there are no further questions, we're going to go ahead and bring the evening to a close. And I want to remind you, next week, join us. The advising team will be with us next week. Thank you again for sharing the evening with us, and have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye, good night.